guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emerald and today I'm walking you through one of the renovations that I did in House Flipper. We are currently at the Huckster's house, and for those that have a keen eye and have been on Netflix around, or what channel was it on? I don't know, I'm not sure. But this is a house based on the house of Walter White, aka Heisenberg, from the good show Breaking Bad. I must admit I was absolutely addicted to the show when it came out. And you can see the little pizza on the roof, and there's some very clear indication that this is indeed the house of Walter White. So I'm doing a little tour for you now, how it looks at first. You see Hamburg on the wall, which is hard to spot, hard to pronounce rather, but funny little note to Heisenberg, Hamburg. It's hard to say that out loud. And we have a couple of different rooms here. We are here at the bedroom of Skylar and Walter and their ensuite bathroom. Here you can see it. They've all tried to make it as accurate to the show as possible as they could within the means of House Flipper. And here we have the garage, and I'm just going to start cleaning up everything and selling everything that is in the house, including the doors, obviously. And we have a nice little hole in the ground full of cash, so of course I'm selling that too. A nice little bit of extra budget for the renovation of this house. Then obviously we have to go and demolish all the interior walls. I'm wanting to start with a clean slate here, so there's nothing left but an empty big old room. Going on to the outside, I'm removing every window and every door until the house is clear, and that includes the pizza, however difficult it was to pick that thing up. So once everything is sold, I'm going over to clean the outside of the house until it is nice and crisp and a nice new house to work with. We have a little bit of a nook here where the previous entrance was, but I'd actually like to have it in the center. So I went ahead and tried a couple of doors, not this one, maybe smaller. No, this one's too big, this doesn't fit. So I take a step back and I look at the house and what actually do I want? And I figured a very simple door with some nice ornaments in the frosted glass might be a good choice for this. Now going back indoors, we go and clean up all the mess that's left. And ultimately, we grab our can of paint, and I'm going for crystal this time and not pure white as a bit of a variation. And I go ahead and paint all of the exterior walls crystal, not white, but crystal. I then add a general flooring that I like in the entirety of the house. And of course that will change for things like bathrooms and kitchen and all that stuff. But I'm changing it in a general hardwood floor to start off with. And then we go to the interior, should we call it the division of the rooms. So I'm not going to skip forward a lot in here because otherwise you won't be able to make proper sense of what's going on. You might not have a sense of what the room and the floor plan looks like. So enjoy this very long stretch of placing walls. Here you can see I'm placing walls to the garage. The garage was pretty easy to define where I wanted it. And here I am measuring out the corner, making sure that in the hallway that I have in mind, we have enough space to properly walk, and I'd like it to be sort of equally divided on all sides. So once I've established that that is enough room and I can actually use this as a corridor, I went ahead and built the other walls. Now, of course, we have to add some lintels for the doors. So I go ahead and do that. It's almost always 4 lintels. There's some exceptions, but every piece of wall is 25 centimeters. And most standardized doors within House Flipper are a meter. So meaning we need 4 pieces of walls, or actually 4 lintels to fit a regular sized wall. I went around the corner and I added some more walls to expand. And what I was thinking about this room is to have it be a sort of toilet block. I don't know how common that is in, for example, America, but here in Europe we usually have a bathroom, but also a separate toilet. It depends on where you are exactly, and it depends on whether your house is really big. Like apartments don't usually have a separate toilet. Well, I'm lying actually. A lot of apartments that I know have a separate toilet. Anyway, it's a very common thing here. So I like to always include, if I have the space for it, a separate toilet room. Now, onto the next part of the hallway, I am once again measuring out whether I have enough space and whether I can center it and keep it the same distance everywhere. And I've come to the conclusion that I have indeed measured out the right amount. So I'm going to measure out a little bit more, because at the end of the hallway I would like to have a room. I'm just checking out to see how large I want that room to be. So a little larger than that, and that seems about a proper place to put that wall. Now of course I'm going to be putting in some lintels, 4 to be exact. And there we go, that's the 4th one going in. And the last bit of wall. Now on that stretch of wall I'm going to be placing 2 doors. So there's a small corner wall here, and then we switch over to the lintels eventually. There we go. And place 4 lintels to accommodate a door. And that leaves us with enough space to put the hole in the floor in the corner of the other room. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do with that hole in the floor, because you can't really do anything with it in House Flipper. Like, it's a nice little nod to the show. It's the place where he hides his cash under the floorboards, and it's funny. And you get a lot of cash that you can actually spend in the game, but now you're just left with a hole in the wall that you can't, a hole in the floor, I mean, that you can't sell, that you can't really do anything with it. So I was really struggling, and I thought, well, I'll just make it sort of a laundry room, maybe a pantry or something. But what kind of odd shaped room do I make this in the middle of this house? It was quite difficult to think of the proper division of rooms for this. But ultimately, I think the floor plan is working out quite nicely. So here we have the doorway finished for the awkward hole room, hole in the floor room. And I'm just finishing off the corner and placing all the appropriate walls to seal it off. And that's how the hallway's looking. Now, of course, we need to make these 2 separate rooms, that in the corner there. So I expanded a little bit. I sacrificed a little bit of room from the other room. A lot of rooms in one sentence. But that way, the one in the corner, the smaller one, that's going to be an office. We'll have a little bit more space, and then we still have plenty of space for this bedroom. But now we have this huge stretch of open space with an awkward block in the middle. So I decided I might do 2 bedrooms with a shared ensuite bathroom. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm dividing this wall up with a door frame. And on that side, I would also like a door frame. And I'm putting the door more to the right on this side, because on the left corner, or left of this doorway, I thought that would be a good spot to put a shower. Leave a little bit of open room with a wall, and you can easily put the plumbing in there. Here I am marking off a little area that I thought would be very excellent as a walk-in closet. And that ultimately is more closet than it is walk-in, but it was a noble idea at the time. Once again, I put in a standard door with 4 lintels, a doorway, and I thought about finishing off the room just like that, but I thought, you know, that's way too big. So rather, I'm taking it step by step, and then I'll do a little closet-sized room in here. Now, what am I going to use it for? I thought, well, maybe a laundry room, but that's actually something that I had in mind for the room with the hole in the floor, but maybe I can think of something else to do there. Like, making the floor plan is really a fluid process. You're just thinking of new things on the spot and you sort of adjust to that. So ultimately, that does end up being the laundry room, and it takes away a little bit of the massive space that is the bedroom behind it, and it still does leave a lot of room for the living room and kitchenette and dining room combination, the open floor plan that we see here. So that is all the rooms set and done, and here I thought it would be cute to put a little wall between the living room and the kitchen without actually closing off the room, but just to sort of divide it, and you'll see I demolish it in a short bit. Then we go and place the interior doors. There they go. And when that's done, I decided I didn't like the front door anymore with the color scheme I chose for the other interior doors. I tried to go outside here after placing a new door, but it's a little bit buggy every now and again, but it's fine. I placed a window. I check it out outside to see if it looks any good, and I decided that the color of the exterior wall wasn't great anymore. So I replaced it, but my first choice really wasn't doing it for me. So I step back, I think, nah, that ain't it. And I replace it with a different set of tiles that does work for me. So I replace that stuff, do the entire house, and then I go and continue placing the windows. Now I hang up a curtain wherever I can, but for some windows it is impossible. For other windows it works, and it even adjusts the size of the curtains for you, but it's not ideal, it's not perfect. I'm contemplating selling it here, but I thought, you know, this is the best I can do with this awkwardly shaped window. And there are many windows in the house that I cannot even, like this one for example, I can't put any curtain on. So any curtain that I can hang up, I'm grateful for. So I start by decorating the living room space, do a little fireplace, do a not so little TV, a nice couch with a, what's that called again? Chaise longue or something? No, that's a different thing I'm thinking about. Something for your feet. And a little coffee table, and then I go straight onto the kitchen. I place the different counters and move them about a little bit because it didn't quite reach the end of the hallway of the wall, and move all of that aside. And I sold the fridge because it was a little bit too big, and when I got a new one I noticed that I quite liked it, but it was overlapping the wall. So I took out one lintel, replaced it with a wall, and that ensured that the kitchen fit very nicely on that stretch of walls. Now some hanging cabinets to finish off this dark kitchen. And of course we do a hood above the stove. Turn it on and enjoy our work. Then we go on to dining table. Add some chairs to it. We add some spotlights in the kitchen so you can really see what you're working with when you're cooking. Look at that light. That gives us plenty of light to work with. I borrowed the chandelier from the living room to see if it would fit the dining room, but I didn't quite like it. So I got rid of it and tried something else. I liked that one, so I decided to hang 3 of them in a row. Now I had borrowed it from the living room, so I would have to replace that one. And I thought of something cute with these pendant lamps in different sizes. And I hung all 3 sizes that are available up in a sort of triangle formation in the corner above the couch. And I absolutely loved it. And then I finished it off with this webbed lamp. A little chair in the corner. Some decorations on the wall with some shelves. Accessorize. But we also wanted to have a bit of an accent wall, so I chose a slightly darker greyish green to paint this block of walls. And since there's no door in between, I thought it would only be appropriate to really continue that wall colour onto the hallway on this section of the wall. And that's the living room done. Now we went onto the toilet block. We put down some nice looking tiles with a darker upper half and painted the ceiling the same colour as the grey upper half. At first I tried to do some tiles that would match the dark upper half, but I didn't quite like it, so I quickly replaced it with the same white tiles that were on the wall. I installed all the necessary bathroom fixtures, like the toilet and the sink. I added a mirror on top of it. Added a ceiling lamp. This one's better. Went on to decorate the room a little bit with a carpet, some shelves, added some accessories to it, and that was the toilet all done. We quickly moved on to the office studio room. Now I say studio because I started off with an office idea, but I figured that maybe it would be fun to have someone be a producer, music producer, maybe a DJ or something, maybe not a standard office. So while I was placing these furniture pieces, I was thinking of what kind of office will this be. I was going through it in my head what I wanted to have for accessories. So one of the walls I decided to give a dark accent colour that would fit the idea of a studio executive or a producer or something like that, give it a suit it more. Added some spotlights that really remind me of a movie set spotlight, and sound padding to the walls, matching the colour of the dark accent wall. We accessorized with some different vinyl records in a frame, and I swear I know people who have a house and a studio like this. There you go, doesn't that look lovely? We added a guitar on the wall. No, we added 2 guitars even. I got you there. We added a microphone, 2 monitors, no, 3 monitors. There's no such thing as overkill. Added a headphone, of course, a sound producer needs that. Their PC, mouse and keyboard. And that's all done. A slight touch of decorations. And that is the studio for you. We went on to the first bedroom. We chose a nice simple bed, some matching nightstands next to it, added some wall lamps to illuminate the nightstands, and chose an accent wall. Now, it's quite a busy pattern, so I wasn't sure if I loved it, but I was going to stick to it. I wanted to try something different. Although I did break up the pattern by having this large painting on top of it. Obviously, I added a ceiling lamp, some plants, and that was looking to be about done. Just some accessorizing with a clock, some plants, and of course a book about music for a producer. A nice large rug that matched the painting on the wall. And I was thinking, yeah, that seems about done. And then we went on to the shared ensuite bathroom. I used the same tiles that I used in the bathroom. I thought I wouldn't overcomplicate things by choosing an entirely different palette. So I tiled the entire wall, and one of the walls where the shower was going to be, I tiled fully. We added, of course, some lights, and obviously you saw me laying the floor. And then we started putting in the amenities. And I noticed that the shower was really not going to fit with that window there, so we got rid of it. And then we installed the shower. Then we added the other amenities like the toilet, the sink, a mirror, and I added some cabinets. But due to the placement of the door, I noticed it was just a little cramped to put a pretty thick cabinet right in front of the door. So I swapped it all around, and after some careful replacement, it was good to walk there again without feeling cramped up. And it was a good choice to switch that around. I added some accessories, some different lotions and shampoos and bottles of whatever you can find in a bathroom in a little basket with some folded towels. And that was the bathroom completely done. Then we went on to the little laundry room that was outside of the kitchen and dining area, and we added our washing machine and a dryer, a little lamp to see what you're doing, and then some hanging cabinets. These were actually from the kitchen variety, I think. I'm not entirely sure anymore. We add some shelves and accessorize it, and that is the laundry room all done. Now we're on to the walk-in closet that isn't so much walk-in as it is just closet in the second bedroom. And you see me here playing around with the different furniture pieces, and I'm deciding that maybe I would like to have an actual door in it. So I replaced some lintels with some full walls, add a sliding door, and honestly, that's all we need for the walk-in closet. Now we add a bed to this bedroom, and of course some matching nightstands. We make the bed, which is equally important. We add a little bench next to the door to the garden to just, have a little cozy corner. And we do the same sort of trick, only with a single ceiling lamp as we did in the living room. And look how cozy that looks. It's really styled. I love it. Then, just because we have the room, we put in a desk with a computer. We don't really need it. We already have a studio, but what else are we going to do with that space? So we put in an a Maple computer. Do some decorating. Have a little desk lamp. Add a big old rug and a nice chandelier. Add some lamps on the nightstand. And that is the bedroom done. Now onto the room with the hole in the floor. It's just going to be a pantry. I don't know what else to do. I can at least cover the hole with a carpet and walk on top of it without falling in it. So that's great. I decided to do that. Then I filled up the shelves with whatever things you could have in a regular home. First aid kit, toilet paper, random boxes that are probably housing something. Food containers, maybe for the dog, your parakeet, canned foods, and I called it a day. I did not know what to do with that space whatsoever. I added some gravel to the door. I tried, you don't see it in the video, but I tried to get the hedge in, but I couldn't sell the hedge that was there. There was no hedge that matched the hedge that's already there in my tablet. Not the right size, no nothing. So I just decided I'll keep it open. It's fine, I'll just put the gravel in. I'm gonna ignore it. Now, I did still need to work on the garage, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm picking up some paint, some beige, cream, whatever it's called, paint, and making sure all the walls are done. I add some blinds to the window and install them. And I'm quite amazed by how well they have adjusted their size to the window. Look at this little blind and then a much larger blind. All the while, technically, these are the same curtains for the same price in a tablet. I add some different bikes, different sizes, different colors. A metal desk, really a tool desk, just for, workshopping in the garage. And with workshopping, we also need some tools on the wall, some tools on the desk. And that is done. Oh no, wait, lights. I add some lights. And now the garage is looking good and done. I got the idea to put a little ball light at that awkward nook near the door. And I add a couple of lights at the front of the house, trying to figure out where the center is. Add some cacti to the front. And then I go on to furnish the back of the garden. Now the thing about the garden is I'm not really changing much because it's already quite well put together, quite well made. There's lots of things that I can't actually sell. And, it's house flip. But why would you flip something that's already good? And this is already good. Like you sort of improve on it. Oh, these are my favorite lamps. I use these all the time. These are a great addition to the game. You can use them on walls, on ceilings. They're very versatile. They just work. I didn't put them up quite well, but after some consideration about the placement, I figured out a way to properly place them. And just look what a difference it makes when you turn it on. Look at that cozy little lounge area. That is amazing. We go ahead with my favorite garden light, the bowl in the floor again, and add it to different spots until the entirety of the garden is illuminated. And there you have it, that's the house. So enjoy this little house tour while I take my leave. So that's it, guys. That's the house. I submitted for the contest. I thought the modern garden would probably be the best shot at having a nice price increase, and 20% is not bad. So I put it on auction. I got it to the highest bidder, and already I'm feeling that this is going to be a great profit margin. And when you look at the top bidders, that is already $100,000. I negotiate, of course, just a little bit, and luckily they accept my offer. Now onto some great, satisfying before and after shots. That is it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, consider leaving a follow and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch as well, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.